Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we dive deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and money you might already have lying around. If you're into coin collecting, numismatics, or just curious if that old dime in your pocket could be worth a small fortune, then you've landed in the perfect spot. Today we're talking about a very special coin that most people completely overlook. We're breaking down the story, secrets, and shocking value behind the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime. Yes, the one with that tiny little JS under the neck. It may look like just another dime, but don't let that fool you. Some of these have been selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and you could be holding one without even knowing it. So stay with me because we're going all the way. From the coin's origin, the meaning of the initials, the mint errors that make them so valuable, and what collectors are paying right now on the market. Let's rewind for a moment. The Roosevelt dime series started in 1946, right after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His legacy in fighting polio and leading the U.S. during the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most respected presidents in American history. It made perfect sense to honor him on U.S. currency, especially a coin so widely used in everyday life. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by a talented sculptor and engraver named John R. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the United States Mint at the time. And if you look closely at the dime right at the base of Roosevelt's neck, you'll spot the tiny initials JS, which stand for John Sinek. That's right, it's not some secret code or mint mark, but it's a tribute to the artist behind the design. Now, fast forward to 1984, a year that produced millions of these dimes, especially at the Philadelphia Mint, which is what the P stands for on this coin. You'd think with so many minted, they'd all be worthless, right? Well, not so fast. Because this is where things get interesting. Here's the deal. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime is normally just worth face value, a simple 10 cents. But not all of them were struck the same. In fact, there are several known error varieties and rare conditions that can make these coins extremely valuable to collectors. Let's break it down. Some of the most valuable 1984 P dimes have double die errors. This means the die used to strike the coin had a slight misalignment, causing a ghosting or doubling effect on the lettering or profile of Roosevelt's face. If you find a 1984 P dime with doubling on the words, "Liberty in God We Trust," or the date itself, you might be holding a jackpot. Other errors include off-center strikes, where the design is pushed off the coin's center, and clipped planchets, which means the coin is missing a piece due to a minting error. These types of errors can raise the value dramatically depending on the severity and rarity. Collectors go wild for what's known as a full bands Roosevelt dime. This refers to the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse side of the coin. If those bands are fully struck and clearly separated, it earns the FB grade from Coin Grading Services. A 1984 P dime with full bands in mint condition, say MS65 or higher, can fetch a lot more than you'd ever expect. Condition matters a lot. A regular 1984 P dime in your pocket change might be worth just a dime, but a high-grade uncirculated coin, especially one graded MS67 or above by PCGS or NGC, can be valued in the hundreds or even thousands. Some of the highest auction sales for the 1984 P dime have gone for over $700 to $1,000. Especially if the coin is in pristine condition with clear full bands. So what's the market saying right now? As of this month, collectors on auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections are paying around $5 to $15 for lightly circulated or average condition coins, $50 to $200 for high-grade MS examples with full bands, and upwards of $500 to $1,200 for rare varieties, mint errors, or top-graded slabbed coins. But here's the kicker: if you stumble upon a double die or another mint error that hasn't yet been widely recognized, your coin might be one of a kind. That could drive its value sky high, especially if it's authenticated and graded by a top-tier service. Point 1. Grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. 2. Look for signs of doubling, missing parts, or unusual shapes. 3. Check the torch bands on the back. Are they sharp and separated? 4. Compare yours to verified images from grading services like PCGS or NGC5. If you're not sure, consider sending it in to be graded, especially if the coin is shiny, flawless, or just feels different. So, next time you're going through your change, don't ignore those dimes. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, especially with JS initials and potential mint errors, could be worth more than you ever imagined. It's a perfect example of how treasure can hide in plain sight. Your dime could be the next big discovery, but you'll never know unless you look. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, hit that like button, subscribe for more weekly treasure hunts, and comment below. Have you ever found a valuable dime or other rare coin in your pocket? I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. You never know who's walking around with a small fortune in their coin jar. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your change always be full of surprises. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.